go back to Visual Studio. In order to fix this, we could just delete the database and create a new database each time we made a change to the model. But this isn't a good idea for a real application, because every time we would lose all our data and it's not really handy. And later on, if we want to publish to the cloud like Azure, this isn't really working well. So we will actually add migrations to our project. First, let's comment out the changes to our model so that our model and our database match again. So we go back to identity model, comment out the property of the application user, the new table in the application DB context, and we go to the diary controller and comment out this line. Let's build and test the project to see if the error has disappeared. Build. Okay, that's fine. Go to the root of the application, enter. Okay, great. Let's go back to Visual Studio. Before we enable migrations, let's delete the existing database to avoid hiccups in the process. For this, we click on View, SQL Server Object Explorer, go to our LocalDB instance, databases. In my case, it's the last one. If you have more than one name, you can go to your web.config and see what name you have in the connection string. So minus 3240 in the end, 3240. So let's delete that one. Delete backup, databases, close existing connections. Okay. That has gone. Let's have a look in the app data folder. Yes, the MDF files have been deleted also. Great. Now we need the package manager console. Tools, NuGet package manager console. We type in enable migrations, enter. Let's have a look in Solution Explorer. We have a new folder, migrations. So you should have a new folder and the configuration CS. Going back to the package manager console and type in another command, add -migration, initial migration, enter. This is adding our first migration using the current model we have. Now we have the initial migration with all the tables from ASP.NET Identity without our changes. So we can see we have ASP.NET roles, user roles, users, user claims. Okay, let's see if it executes with update database. This will create the database and apply the first migration. Looks good so far. Let's have a look at app data. Okay. Our new files just created. Let's have a look with Server Explorer. Default connection. And here are our original tables. Great. Let's check in our changes so far. Create initial migration with identity tables. Now we can reintroduce the changes to our model. Go to models, identity models.cs. We put our new tables back in, new table, our user diary entries, navigation property, and in our diary controller, where was it? Here. The command that saves the entry. There's a semicolon missing. Let's see if it compiles and hit build. Looks good. Now let's get back to our package manager console and add another migration with the changes to our model. Add -migration and we name that add table diary entries. Enter. Looks good. So in our folder migrations, we have a second migration we just created with a new table. Let's apply the migration with update database. It's looking good. Server Explorer, refresh. Let's see. This doesn't work. What has just happened? Okay, I am up and running again. If you experience the same issue with Server Explorer, please exit Visual Studio, restart it, and load the project again. So, okay, now we can have a look. Default connection, tables, and here it is, our new table with our ID, our primary key, our timestamp, our text, and user ID. That's a link to ID from ASP.NET users. Nice. And save our changes to source control. Add migration, add table diary entries. Commit. Okay, go back to Solution Explorer. We can minimize the package manager console and see if we can add entries to our new table. So let's start this up. Log in. Demo. Invalid login attempt. Okay, that's normal because we have a fresh database and we have lost our old data. So that's a big reason to use migrations so we don't use data. Maybe you already know we can also insert test data with a seed method with entity framework, but I won't include that at this moment. So yeah, let's recreate our user demo.demo. The password we selected was this $mi 123456 register, and we're in here. Go to the diary, and this goes into the database. Okay, let's check in Visual Studio. Server Explorer, diary entries, right click, show table data. And there it is. We just inserted data from our form into the database.